Hello everybody and welcome back to Jan Wants to Sail. My family and I chartered a Catana Bali 4.6 in the south of France last week, and with 11 people we spent the whole week on board. We were sailing the boat. I looked into pretty much every hatch, into every corner, and we ran it under engine and we did some close quarter maneuvering and so on and so forth. But first let's have a deeper look into this. We enter the boat and we have a complete look around into all the different rooms, into all the different cabins. First of all, I must say this was a 5-cabin version. So we've got 5 double cabins plus 1 skipper cabin or 1 crew cabin. We've got 4 major heads or bathrooms, including shower, and 1 skipper shower. So in total, we've got 5 toilets. And here we've got the skipper cabin, which was comfortable for my son. I wouldn't feel too comfortable down there. It's still quite tight. We have a look around and we enter the Flybridge. The Flybridge was comfortable for sailing or for being on the motor, for sunsets, sunrises. And usually we were sitting with between 3 to 5 or 6 people here. The table is height adjustable. You can turn it around and you can use it as a normal couch table or even as a dining table. The coach roof, though, is quite high. It's already like 4 meters above the ground, and sail handling is getting quite complicated here. We have the German sheeting system, which I like a lot, and we will get into the sail handling later. Visibility from the steering station from the helm is quite good, towards the front at least, but towards starboard aft, you can't see a thing. So you always need a good crew that guide you and help you to look around. But from port side, it's easy visible and helps you with maneuvering. While seated, the visibility is still good and it's good communication with the people in the Flybridge. This boat was equipped with 2 Yanmar engines, I think with 75 horses. Radio control station with a regular Raymarine navigation systems, autopilot with the chain counter and even chain remote control with a Raymarine chart plotter. And from here, there's even a switch to the light system on the Flybridge. Going aft, let's have a look even deeper into the cabins. First of all, this is like a guest cabin, or also could be owner's cabin, which I like. Only this is a wet head, so a shower and toilet combined together. Having a look around, this bed was fairly big, fairly large. This cabin even has a larger window, but as you will see in the other cabins as well, ventilation was very poor. You have an escape hatch here. You've got cabinets. The cabinets are quite good. We've got fire extinguishers in every cabin. And below the stairs here, we also have got the Victron alternators and some electronics. Easy accessible here with some fuses. Yep, easy to access. And also here you see everything is spring loaded or with hydraulic dampers. So things appear to be quite good. You've got tanks below the floor, and also air conditioning was in every room. Here we've got some other tubes and tanks and so on, easy to maintain, easy to access. So this part I liked a lot. Yep, so more cables and tanks. The installation quality in my eyes was quite good, better than the Nautitech that we had before, better than the Neil, and also better than the Lagoons that we had before. Also the cabinets, I find them quite good, so I think in general the boat is quite livable. Light switches in the boat, in every cabin there are in different unintuitive spaces, so you will see a little bit more about that later. Escape, the life raft is here below and it's also accessible from below once the boat would be capsized. This boat has a huge kitchen-style fridge, which in my eyes is not suitable for yachts, but this is more a condominon or floating apartment than it is a boat, as you will see later. This is a aft cabin, the master cabin, which was quite roomy, and this was one of the very few cabins which had more than just one opening window. So the ventilation in this cabin was among the best in the boat, but still was not good. Here on the in the middle, you see the light switch. Very unintuitive in my eyes. It's hidden behind the door, so if you wouldn't know, you wouldn't find it. Below the floor, there are all the different pumps, bilge pumps, freshwater pumps, and so on. Um, yeah, most things were easy accessible. The heads here is even a dry head with a separate shower. Was fairly okay. My parents stayed in this room and they liked it, but also here ventilation was very poor. Only one window, one small tiny window in the heads. That's not enough in my eyes. Now we move over to the front cabin after having a look into the other cabinets. The front cabin, my sister, my daughter slept here. Also here, this was the only cabin where we had a roof window, a roof hatch, which allowed some ventilation. And here also bathroom, only one small window. That's not enough. Usually I would say the build quality was good. Only the next hatch that I open here that was not screwed in properly, but this was not a big issue. The marina guy instantly fixed it, so that was all right. In the back of the cabin, close to the bed, there were all two USB chargers in every cabin, so that was quite good. There's quite some space below the room here. We've got the sounder, the depth sounder, and also easy access to tanks and so on. One big complaint though is the next opening where we have to open the seacocks for the wastewater tank. You really need to be kind of acrobatic to get to the valve and to close it. You really need to dig deep and grab the valve there out at the end. So I hated that quite a lot whenever we entered or left a marina or mooring place. There's quite a lot of space in the kitchen below the ground. We could store quite a lot of water and food down there, also drinks. So that was quite good. The cabinet quality in my eyes was good, although you see the mechanics there, plastic, but it worked fine. I've got nothing to complain about that. The navigation station is fully equipped, as you would expect. Only here I didn't have a remote control for the autopilot. But besides that, everything's fine. You've got digital displays for water, for battery, and so on. We will see the batteries also later. So going up front, there's a huge front cockpit, also with the anchor up front. So this was the first time when visiting the boat, so I didn't know where all the stuff is. So the anchor is down here with the bridle, with remote control, and the chains down there. You can drain it right off. And below the seating area, there's a water hose outlet, so you even could wash down the chain down there. So now we open this hatch. Below there, there's a generator. Unfortunately, the generator didn't work with us. Here's a water outlet, yeah. So the generator didn't work with us, so we could not use the air conditioning. We could not use the water maker. Okay, with the air conditioning, I would be fine if the boat wouldn't be so bad regarding the ventilation in the rooms. But yeah, it was as it is. But here you see big windows and a big door up front, so you always had a good cross ventilation in the saloon. This door I hated a lot. This for the waste. I hit my toes quite often, and everyone else did. So this was quite a bad design. The stove, there's gas valves, easy to access, easy to maintain, cutlery, all available. So this was quite good. You've got huge amounts of storage here, even thermometer and all this stuff. So for cooking, it was a blast. Good access to everything, lots of space, lots of countertops for 2 to 3 people even working there. Now we go into the double bunk. Again, cabin, small cabin, but it's okay with only one window. Here again, the installations below with the bilge pump and some other pumps. And below the stairs here is the valve for the wastewater tank. So I always had to dive deep down to open or to close it. But here it was much easier than to port side. So easy to open and to close. Valves installation was quite fine. Only window, the light switches here are again in different position. Not very intuitive, but yeah, well, that's the way it is. Only one ventilator in this room, so it was getting quite hot. The head here, also separate shower, was quite comfy in my eyes. And the cabin in the bow was the smallest double cabin in this boat, but nicely here there's a window close to the bed, easy to look out, and space similar to the other cabin with chargers again in the front. I really like to have fire extinguishers in every room, so gives you some sense of security. Below the hatches here is more storage and also water outlets. You will see much more when we later go into the engine room, what it looks down there. So what else we've got? Below the stairs there were escape hatches. You can take them out. Here again you see the big refrigerator, kitchen style. I really did not like that. It seemed to drain quite a lot of energy. Let's go into the powerhouse of this boat. It has two Yanmar engines, and the engine room is very large. It's very comfortable to get in. It's very comfortable to work inside. You see all the outlets here. The valves you see here are the bilge pump outlets for draining water. You've got the electric installation, huge sets of house batteries. Steering seemed to be solid for me. The steering is with ropes. For me it was good. Seems to be easy to maintain, easy to fix, easy to move. So the boat was brand new, so there shouldn't be any issues with maintenance or wear and tear. Also here in the engine rooms there were fire extinguishers and everything fine from my side. So the engine rooms, yeah, I like them. They were working quite fine. Just let me close this. Also here, hydraulic struts. That's also good. I like that a lot. Let's go over then to the coach roof is quite sturdy, quite stable. Also holding the tender lift. I will operate it later, then you can see how it works. So the port side, the starboard side engine room, also quite clean, tidy. There's a water maker, which we unfortunately couldn't try out, fire extinguisher and so on, electronics, all there. So that was quite good. So it's something livable for a long time. You've got water hose for washing off, rinsing you off. Also the manual bilge pumps were there on either side. We've got some additional storage here used for oil, and we also use this for waste. The dinghy with the dinghy lift, also very easy to use and to operate. The dinghy was also quite nice, large dinghy with five horses. We've got more storage here used for the dinghy anchor. Was also quite nice. Later we put in our diving gear, our snorkeling gear in there. What else have we got? The garage style door, the signature feature from not only Seawind, but in this style from Bali. It's all operated electrically, so you can lower it here and it goes down fairly quickly. Also very easy to handle, and I will show you how to lock it in place. Before we go on, there's a lock on the top. You push a little bit the door to the outside, it's easy in, and there's another lock down there, and then the door is fixed in place, and that will not move anymore. So it's very quick and easy to lock it up. The windows, they also slide up and open, and also slide to close. That was also quite good. Here in the bow, we've got the skipper or the crew toilet, crew shower. I had a shower in there once. That was okay, but still it's quite smaller. Yeah, the way the skipper cabins and the skipper bathrooms are. There it's equipped with a light, which I liked. The drainage worked, and also this, I suppose, acts like a crash bulkhead or a crash structure. So I think this boat would be quite safe to be operated in an open seas, or I think you don't need to worry about crashing into something. The dinghy lift was very easy to use, very easy to handle. I like this. Also, when the dinghy is down, you've got another extended platform for swimming, for standing, and for getting in and out of the water. So this was quite comfortable. Not only me, but also my family. Some of them hit their heads with this garage gear, with this dinghy lift gear. But there's no perfect system. Every system has pros and cons. I like this one. This is okay. But in bigger waves, nah, not so nice anymore. So let's look into the deck systems, into sailing. Into the coach roof here, we have got a LED stripe that can be switched on and off from the steering column. So even when it's dark, or when you want to have a sundowner here, or after sunset, you can still have your light. Sail handling, though, was not so easy. You have to climb up the stairs, and already here we are 4 meters above the ground. When you climb up more, they're 2 meters more, like 6 meters, 6, 7, even probably a little bit more. That is quite shaky up there, and you can only walk on these black stripes that you see here. So don't step left or right. So once you step on the roof, you really must make sure that the sail, the sheets are pulled tight, that the boom cannot swing around, that you're safe up there. But nevertheless, climbing up is something for monkeys and not for old people. Sail handling was fine. There was not much opportunity for trimming or so. It's a very simple layout, yeah, this boat, as you will see, is not so much made not for performance sailing, but it's a very comfortable cruising platform and bathing platform and living platform. If you want to do boat races, or if you want to do sail in a sporty way, you will not take this boat anyway. So sail handling, you have to climb up to the roof of the coach roof. As I said, this must be like 6 or probably 7.5 meters above the ground. When there are waves from the side, it starts swinging quite a lot. So you really need to watch your safety up there. But besides that, pulling sail up, or hoisting sail or taking sails down is quite easy once you have untangled it here. So everything besides that seems to be quite sturdy and made from people who know how to build boats. Under the waterline, you will see the biggest problem for regards to sailing, or one of the biggest problem. It has stub keels, and the stub keels are quite small, so they do not really stop you from drifting aside. From below, here now you see the hatches, the escape hatches, and the structure of the bridge deck. And I must say we did not really encounter bridge deck slapping, but all the time we had pretty good weather. Here's a drain of the forward cockpit, and in front of the drain of the forward cockpit, there's also the drain from the anchor chain. So the compartment can be easily washed out from the anchor chain. We've got some more water outlets, inlets. Yeah, that's the way it is. The forward cockpit is huge, humongous. We were having dinner or breakfast, sometimes sitting there with 7 or 8 people. We were 11 people on board, and it was always comfortable. We always could find some spaces. Now, let's have a look more about the performance. Here we just left Port Grimaud in France, and I myself lifted the anchor, and yeah, and off we go. So the anchor handling was quite easy, was easy accessible. Um, yeah, and when there's not too much wind, it's also easy to take it in to get everything under control. During this time, still the whole crew was sleeping. I was the only one who was up, and with the time you will see the people getting up in the when the sun comes up. So lifting the anchor. Yeah, anchor comes up. And then once the anchor is up, I stow it away, and then let's leave the anchorage. And as easy it is with catamarans, they turn on a dime. You just can turn around. And now it's time to test the engine performance. So after the engines got warm, I checked the engine speeds. Here we've got full speed with 2,500 RPM in both engines. We almost reach 8 knots, but this definitely is the most you can achieve. Both engine on 1,500 RPM, you get like 5.4 knots of speed. I tried some different combinations later as well. Still everyone's sleeping. So for example, one engine on 2,300 RPM, and there we made like 6 knots. Oh, someone's waking up. And then later, also with 2,000 RPM on steady speed, we had like 5.5 knots. So I wouldn't take this boat against strong winds anyway. It has quite a big windage, quite big wind resistance. So this is not really the boat that you would pick for sailing or for anything that's related to performance. Yeah, and I check the environment. So the fastest speed we could get under sails indeed was 7.4 knots worth it. Was on the last day, and to our surprise, the Windex stopped working. But so I couldn't show the wind angles here, but I've got enough recordings of different wind angles before. Also, I didn't know exactly what was the wind speed here. I assume must have been something like 15 to 20 knots behind the island, where we had some accelerated winds, and 7.3, and we were peaking with 7.4 knots of boat speed. So if you go downwind, or if you go like to wind angles like 80 degrees or 70 to 80 degrees, you can still call the sailing, but you can forget about really tacking against the wind. You see, we try to tack against the wind, but the wind angles are quite big. So we were drifting like almost 20 degrees off wind. You can tack somehow, but it's no fun. It's very frustrating when you see you don't get the distance to the target properly. Also here, different wind speeds, different wind angles, and we always had the situation where we had quite some drift away. I think with the small stub keels combined with the huge construction, it's not the best sailing performance. Usually we were sailing with about 30, 35 to 55% of the wind speed, depending on the wind angle. And pretty much every other boat was faster than us. And tacking was no fun, but eventually it's not what this boat is about. Anyone who wants to sail with better performance, or anyone who's ambitious, would never take this boat. So this boat is only for people who want to spend a nice time with the family at anchor, who want to cruise comfortably and without any ambition regarding speeds or performance. So I really can say we had a beautiful time on this boat. We had a really, really good time. It is spacious. It has the the space on the Flybridge where we could sit. It has a space in a forward cockpit. The saloon is huge. So even with 11 people on the yacht for a whole week, you never get too close to each other. You always have space to escape or to get your freedom. And how was it with boat handling? So here we are leaving the marina on the very first day. As normal, put the engine into gear, and then drop the mooring lines, and then just release the aft lines, and the boat comfortably, slowly drifts forward, and it's very easy to control. Nice thing about this boat is also that opposite to the lagoons, the rudders are behind the propellers, so the sail feel, also the feel on the steering wheel, was not too bad. So I wouldn't mind to maneuver this boat in close quarter. The only point is that's not so nice is the visibility to starboard aft. But besides that, visibility is good. Under sail, yeah, sail handling was okay. Sails were fine. Sails were still quite new, and so nothing too much to complain about that. The boat has additional stairs at the mast, which I don't know why it's there, because anyway you would climb up onto the yeah the flybridge roof if you want to do something there. Now let's have a look into onto the outer part of the hulls when sailing along. The hulls, as I said, we didn't have waves, so we didn't encounter bridge deck slapping, but I would expect that when there are waves that you would hear them very clearly and that you would encounter them. Yes. Besides that, the boat didn't make much noise when sailing through the water, so that was quite a comfortable experience. The boat is very easy to move around, has lots of space. It's very comfortable at anchor. It's a beautiful swimming and bathing platform. So would I take the boat again? Hands down, yes. With the family, the way we did it, I would charter this boat again. I would charter similar boats as well. Would I charter this boat if I would sail around the world? Oh, hell no. Would I charter this boat if I want to go for racing or if I want to do some sportive sailing? Hell no. But for what we did this week with the family, this was just brilliant. This boat is solidly built, like if you could crash right into the wall. So I like this boat, but definitely not because it's a sailing boat, but because it's a nice swimming platform and it's beautiful for the holidays. So next year we will be sailing again, probably on our own yacht then. We will go sailing again another time this year, and let's see what we will have there. Maybe I will make another video about that. So if you want to see more, yeah, just subscribe and join me for the next video. Thanks a lot and have a nice day. Bye.